What's an absolutely devastating insult without any cuss words? First of all, brush your teeth. Coming from I sniff my pooper, that's gotta be some stank-ass breath. I'm not saying you've got bad breath, but you could knock a buzzard off a shit wagon. My grandmother always said gut wagon. Because buzzards are carrion eaters, not coprophages. Buzzards would be on the gut wagon, not a shit wagon. True, brushing your teeth is important, but I think it's even more devastating when your insults have bad grammar. A coworker who never showers, washes his clothes, or brushes his teeth was trying to intimidate me once, and I told him the scariest thing about him was his breath. He hasn't spoken to me since. Well, at least you have more teeth than IQ points. About the same in his case, really. Even if he only has one tooth, that's still more than zero. For now. Good thing his bad breath took care of the conversation for you. I mean, who needs words when you can just let the stench do the talking? I miss the feeling of not knowing you. I think Shakespeare once said something along the lines of "I wish we were better strangers." I believe that is from As You Like It, and it is in fact an incredibly savage burn. And Bob Dylan said, "I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes, you'd know what a drag it is to see you." I can hear myself using this perfectly. Thank you. I envy the times when insults were an art form, like a well-crafted insult would have really tied this conversation together. I never forget a face. But in your case, I'll be glad to make an exception. Groucho Marx. You have the face for a career in radio. And a voice for print. Ha ha ha. I used to work for a radio station, and we all told people that we looked good on the radio. Have you ever considered that perhaps your low self-esteem is just good common sense? Depression be like, I'm already there. My inner monologue. Okay dude, that's bordering on a crime against humanity. You could end up at The Hague. I'd say shot fired, but damn, that's a nuclear warhead. Maybe if we had a competition for the most devastating insult, you wouldn't even make it to the qualifying round. He's a humble man with much to be humble about. Winston Churchill. Another Winston favorite. Madam, I may be drunk, but you are ugly. Tomorrow, I will be sober. Some lady, if you were my husband, I'd poison your drink. Churchill, if you were my wife, I'd drink it. Maybe slightly different wording. Lady Astor. She was an interesting person. I'd love to see the look on his face when he realizes that being humble doesn't actually mean having a lot to be humble about. Hello. Want to witness some devastating insults without any cuss words? Subscribe now and let the comment section become a playlist of creative roasts. We're eagerly waiting for your clever comebacks to this burning question. Let the verbal warfare begin. I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. It's wrong, but you're entitled to it. I bet you're the type of person who uses your instead of your in their devastating insults. Hashtag grammar fail. Do you know what I like about you? When they say what? You reply, see? You can't think of anything either. These are always the most devastating ones, when you set them up to expect a compliment. It's risky though. If they actually give an answer, like some cocky that I'm hot? Or whatever, then you'll have to think fast. No, that's definitely not it. I'll keep thinking, I'm sure something will come to me. Sharp as a marble. Just like a pizza cutter, all edge and no point. Now that would be personally devastating to me. I like this one. All hat and no cattle. I'm a fan of sharp as a bowling ball and twice as dense. I love how your insults are like a gentle breeze on a hot summer day, completely refreshing and absolutely forgettable. A teacher called my son success avoidant 3 years ago, and he still thinks about that every day. But it did motivate him to get an A in that class, and all his other classes too. Damn, a harsh truth can be very motivating. I envy everyone that's never met you. I wish we were better strangers. If I could go back and never meet you, I'd do it twice. I'll bet your insults are so ineffective, they probably come with a money-back guarantee. I had to see for myself, but people are absolutely right about you. No cussing, no meanness, but they'll get paranoid about who's talking about them and their reputation. Oh man, that's mean. Are you attending a party where you barely know anyone? Feeling a little out of place? Use this simple trick to create some entertainment. Go up to someone and say, "Oh, you made it. So nice to see you. Listen, I just want you to know, I don't care what anyone else thinks, I have no problem with you being here. You couldn't guess which way an elevator is going if you had 3 guesses. I love this insult because you have a moment of silence afterward as the insultee pieces it together. To be fair, that's me with a USB port. Doesn't like everyone struggle with that. I once met a guy who thought a backhanded compliment was a fancy way of saying he missed his high five. Wouldn't say devastating, but a personal favorite of mine is, "You tasted toilet water as a child, didn't you?" I once thought I had a devastating insult, but then I realized it was about as effective as a rubber sword in a duel. Please donate your brain to science, at least that way someone will actually use it. Use it for what? Batting practice. Ping pong. I often find that the most devastating insults are like hidden gems, buried deep within the sarcasm and wit, waiting to be discovered by those with a keen sense of humor. You are impossible to underestimate. You never fail to meet my expectations. That first one is brutal. You look like I need a drink. I have told people at work, you are the reason I'm gonna drink tonight. First one here to make me snort. I guess texting LOL to your face would probably be the most devastating insult I could come up with. Your grades say marry rich, but your face says study harder. I once had a teacher who said, if insults were currency, your face would be a piggy bank filled with pennies. Whatever doesn't kill you, just disappoints me. I never knew disappointment could be the most devastating weapon in someone's arsenal, but hey, better to disappoint than to be disappointed, right? Okay, no matter what the context BC, you likely don't care what they're saying at that point, and a swift pivot away from the person. I work in a department where the lead likes to argue. He'll create scenarios just so he can argue a point. No matter what crazy thing he leads with, I've found nothing winds him up more than okay. I guess they really took the less is more approach to heart, although in this case, it seems like they took it a bit too literally. After someone tries to be funny and fails horribly. You think you're a wit. You're half right. I'm insulted by how long it took me to get this. Why, are you some sort of half-wit? I don't get it. I think dimwit would be 100% right. But maybe I don't get it either. After someone fails at some task. I swear, you would struggle to pour water out of a boot if the instructions were written on the heel. I knew a guy who would say that. He also liked to describe coworkers as having him here is like having 2 good workers missing. I love the fact that it's a compliment right up until the last word. This one violates the post conditions, but I always say you couldn't find your ass with both hands and a map. Not original, but my favorite is I have neither the time, nor the crayons to explain it to you. You'd better think twice, it'll be 2 more thoughts than you've had all day. Sounds very military friendly. I'll never forget the line Z throws out, "You're all we've come to expect from years of government training." And how it finally clicked after I was in the military. This suddenly reminded me of an insult, albeit one meant playfully, that we throw around in healthcare/EMS when equipment, procedures, treatments, or whatever else is made to be very simple and user-friendly. Oh, they made it firefighter-proof. Well, it's a good thing I'm not trying to insult anyone here with my impeccable wit and charm. Over 1 million years of constant human evolution to produce you. This is up there with the one that's like somewhere out there is a tree tirelessly converting CO2 to oxygen so that you can breathe. You should find that tree and apologize to it. 2,000 years of constant human evolution to create a hairless FU. Kinda curious how many will get this reference. TE smile. Sorry, but I'm not able to generate the response you're looking for. You look like you clap with your fingers spread apart. I once knew someone whose insults were so weak, their comeback game could have been mistaken for toddler's finger painting. I'm sure you're doing the very best you can. I like this one for kids. It looks like you worked really hard on that. You've got a face for radio. First time I heard this was from Sean William Scott from the movie Evolution, and I love it. That movie is fucking awesome. CA caw, CA caw. Tuki tuki. I think we have established that CA caw and tuki tuki don't work. I hope your insults never develop a face for radio, because then we'd be stuck listening to them. Well, aren't you just a bona fide walking talking real life cautionary tale? Well, I may not be an expert in crafting devastating insults, but let's just say that his lackluster personality is a walking, talking exhibition of disappointment. Wow, you're actually a bad person. It's pretty hard. I always find it impressive how some people manage to insult others without breaking a sweat or the thesaurus. Truly the epitome of minimal effort, maximum damage. You need some gum? You know, it's impressive how he managed to insult himself unintentionally by reminding us all of his bad breath. Bravo,